not hearing my music. That's not good. Okay. For some strange reason, we are not hearing the music. We're not seeing what we should be seeing. So let's go here and let's just start. Yay, Andrew. Yep, we are live. Good that you are here. It's a little bit of a shaky start here because normally we have our 1 minute intro with some music playing there and all that stuff. But for some reason, it did not do. Okay, back to live mode. Okay. Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, I know. I was careful with what I was saying. Okay. Anyway, guys, we as Andrew pointed out, we are live and excited to be talking here with our guest Darren Cheesman. Darren needs little introduction or no introduction. Former player for GB in England. Played in several of the European top competitions himself as a player, moved on to coaching at a young age, and did this in several countries. And at the moment, he is coaching in Berlin, in Germany. Very excited to be there. He just told me pre-show, and also excited to be a little bit of a part already in the German youth development programs there. So, lots of you guys know Darren obviously also from FIH Academy, where he's an educator, and we've done a masterclass with Darren on the long corner. I think it was 1 or 2 years ago already. So time flies. But Darren is doing some kind of a master. The title of your study was too long. I could not remember, but some kind of a master with sports science. Did a thesis and published that recently on GOT metrics, GOT metrics, and that triggered my attention. So I asked Darren, is this a topic that you want to delve in for a masterclass on the hockey side? And I was very happy that he said yes. So welcome, Darren. Excited to be talking about what do you pronounce? Do you say GOT metrics? Do you say GOT metrics? Goals, opportunities, threats? What do you say?
I say GOT metrics, but I'm probably 100% wrong. So it's all okay.
Yeah. Because GOT metrics, I always think about the GOT with a D at the end, not about the GOT with a D at the end.
Yeah, that's a different topic for sure.
That's a completely different topic. Let's not go there for this. So we're going to talk about GOT metrics. So Darren, the floor is all yours.
Perfect. Let me just get it up, and then we can press play. So, Ernst, thanks for having me. It's a pretty cool topic for me because I got to do my master's on this, looking at the German women team in the European Cup of 2021. And now just about to start my doctorate study, where I'll probably go into this topic in a little bit more detail. But for me, it was a really cool opportunity to come and talk to you guys around, what does the study look at? And more importantly, how do we actually use this as coaches? And whenever I go onto a workshop or a seminar or something, the first thing I ask myself is, okay, but why should I be interested? And so I'm going to basically talk to you about why you should be interested potentially. I think our game is really complex, and if we think about ourselves as coaches, there's so many things we could look at and so many areas we could delve deep into. But without any structure, it becomes almost ad hoc, and there's no real method to your madness. So one of the things that I wanted to do is make sure that we could talk through how we can use these metrics to start to review your performances that you've just had with your team, how you can maybe look at some trends across some of the opposition teams that you're going to be playing against in the coming days, weeks, months, whatever it might be, and how can you then start to use that scouting plan and that analysis to be able to put together your own detailed strategy plan? So whether that's tactical, principle, whatever it might be, what can you do to help with your own strategy? And then lastly, once you understand all of that, there's no point just having a strategy on paper. You, of course, need to go and get onto the training field, which all of you coaches know about. So again, it's looking at how can the metrics and this philosophy start to allow you to build some structure in your training session design. So as Ernst was talking about, there's the GOT metrics, GOT metrics, but what are they? So they were, I think, created by Rick Charlesworth, the legendary Australian coach, and the Australians were using them for years. And now they're used by a whole load of different teams across the world, and all in very different ways. But what I'm going to do is take you through how I use them. Basically, they're circle entries, but rather than just counting how many circle entries you've had across a game, we start to attach some more detailed labels to each circle entry, so we can start to build up a better picture and start to understand what we're doing a little bit more. So this might be a typical coding window that you can use to allow you to add the labels. So over here, you've got the basic labeling for your general play around, is it a ball start or a ball win? What was the location of that? Or so where does it originate? You've got all of the stuff around what type of attack it is, or whether the ball starts actually from a restart in the center of the field because of a goal or a new period. What defense are you playing against, and also some other context stuff like, is there a no goalkeeper, or is there an Ubezala overload because of a card or something like that. But then once you get into the actual corner, into the actual circle entry stuff, again, rather than just talking about how many circle entries, we're starting to be able to say, okay, is there pressure on the goal shot, or is there no pressure on the goal shot? What's the location of the goal shot? And have you actually gone in with and not had a circle entry where an attacker didn't touch the ball, so maybe a defender intercepted? Or have you got into the circle with the ball, but actually you haven't been able to get a goal shot out of that? Penalty corner wins, penalty stroke wins, and of course goals. So there's a lot in there that you can really do in terms of adding labels, and then on top of that, you can add in like personnel labels and how many players are in the circle. Is it an overload or an underload in a circle? There's a whole load of other things that we put in there as well. But I just wanted to show you a basic coding window, and all of this is because I think traditionally we talk about the quantity of circle entries or quantity of shots that we might be able to generate in a game, and we always used to think that was really important. But actually, there's a whole load of research, and there's a whole load of insight that goes into the fact that actually the quality of each of those circle entries is just as, if not more important. And of course, if you have one really good chance and that's it in the game, but another team has a whole load of half chances and they're able to score 10, of course, quantity is important. But we're assuming that both teams are able to generate a good amount of chances across a game, which would then give you a basic output window that looks something like this, where you're able to basically pick up each shot generates a different number of points, which is then accumulated over here. And then you can see how many points per circle entry you typically get and how many points you typically need in order to score a goal. And the points, basically, for no touch, you get 0.5 points. For touch in the circle or control in the circle, you get 1 point. And then with pressure, shots with pressure from the baseline is 2, then 3, then 4, then 5 in the area just in front of the goal. Without pressure, so there's no defender that's actually physically putting pressure on you, your chances increase of scoring, therefore you get higher number of points. And then over here in the top, you get penalty corners are worth 5 because it's an unopposed shot from the top of the circle, and a 7 meter is a really good chance for you to score, so it's 6 points. So that's the basic numbers that sit behind the rest of the presentation. It's just so that you have an understanding. So if we're talking about reviewing performance, this was a basic profile that I was able to put together for the German women at the European Cup, where you can see each of the games broken down individually. And the frequency of them being able to generate the different types of shot. So, for example, the baseline with pressure 0, the shoulder of the circle, so B with pressure 2, without pressure 1 against Belgium. So you can start to get a frequency understanding of each of the games, but then also understand Germany as a whole against each of their opposition. What is that frequency looking like? And one of the things that we were able to look at in the thesis was the fact that Germany had the lowest total of circle injuries across all 4 teams. So we looked at Germany, Belgium, Spain, and Holland because they were the semi-finalists. Which is interesting because, as I said, traditionally we look at it and we say, okay, the team with the least amount of circle entries is probably the least attacking. But when you look at the numbers and you look at actually the details that sit behind it, you realize that actually, although they had the lowest number of circle entries, they had the highest got per circle entry, which means the average quality of a circle entry for Germany was significantly higher than the average quality of a circle entry for their opponents. So for me, that shows a real mentality of, okay, if we are going to get into the circle, we want to make sure that we get in there with some good purpose and the ability to actually generate some good goal scoring opportunities for us. The next part is, while that is true, Germany weren't able to have a single shot from the top of the circle, which is called Zone A, which if you look down here, Germany in Zone A had 0 shots across the 3 games, compared to the opposition who had 3 shots against them across the 3 games.